Welcome, this is Mount Zion in the 12th hour. Today I'm going to talk about the star, the moon, and the cross. Are these really symbols for any believer? This is what we are going to find out in our study tonight. But on a reminder, they are warned the children of Israel never to have symbols, which imply the people of Yahweh are not supposed to have such symbols. And this is what we are going to examine in our study tonight. The star is a symbol of Judaism, and the cross is the symbol for Christianity. The moon is a symbol for Islam. These three human religions have also changed the name of the Yahweh, though they claim the scriptures to be their basis. For Judaism, call the Yahweh Adonai. Christianity call the Yahweh Lord, as for lords, and Islam call the Yahweh Allah. Similarly, all the other religions of the world have their own symbols and the names they have substituted in the place of the name for the Yahweh. Islam later adopted the star. That's why we see the star and the moon on their mosques. But I will reserve that for our next study. Right now, I'm going to proceed and examine the cross. Where did it come from? Is there any danger for anyone using the cross or not? We are going to find out. A question: is the cross a symbol for believers? Most people think that our Savior was hung on the cross, but the scriptures does not teach so. When we turn to the book of Acts of the Apostles, chapter 13, verse 28 and 29, and though they found no cause of death in him, yet desired they Pilate that he should be slain. And when they had fulfilled all that was written of him, they took him down from the tree and laid him in a sepulchre. So the cross was substituted in the place of the tree. That's why Moses in the wilderness, Yahweh called him and instructed him to make a serpent and hang it on the pole, which is a tree, representing Yeshua to be hung on the tree in the future. Acts of the Apostles, chapter 10, verse 39, also tells us that, and we are witnesses of all things which he did in both the land of the Jews and in Jerusalem, whom they slew and hanged on a tree. I'm going to quote the words of a lady. This lady was prophesied about by Yeshua our Savior when he was on earth. In the book of Matthew, chapter 13, verse 33, another parable spake he unto them, the kingdom of heaven is like unto leaven, which a woman took and hid in 3 measures of meal, till the whole was leavened. This is a parable. And we need to understand what these symbols represent in reality. Leaven represent the gospel. The 3 measures of meal represent the 3 movements from the Laodicean church. This woman wrote the words I'm quoting. Is the cross a symbol for believers? Lapists place crosses upon their churches, upon their altars, and upon their garments. Everywhere is seen the insignia of the cross. Everywhere it's outwardly honored and exalted. The badge of believers is not an outward sign, not the wearing of a cross, or a crown, but it is that which reveals the union of man with Yahweh. Where did the cross come from then, if it's not the outward sign of the believers? How did it creep into the congregation of Yahweh? I'm going to quote these words from the 1965 World Book Encyclopedia, Volume 7. States, cross forms were used as symbols, religious or otherwise, long before the Christian era. In almost every part of the world, this symbol had a wide diffusion before the Christian era in Europe, Asia, and America, and is commonly thought to have been an emblem of the sun or fire and hence of life. Let me read another quotation. The 1945 Encyclopedia Americana states, the symbol of the cross was used throughout the world since the latter Stone Age. Greek, pre-Christian, crosses were the tau and swastika. The cross first became a symbol of Christianity during the reign of Emperor Constantine, and that was 312 to 337 AD. That's the time of Emperor Constantine, and a lot of paganism crept into the Christian church by that time. So the cross, that's when it became the symbol for the Christians or Christianity. The cross symbol is being used by the Thessalonians and the Celtic Druids from BC 200, by the Romans from BC 120. The cross was used long time in the past. But remember, the badge of Christianity is not an outward sign, but that which reveals the union of man with the Yahweh. It's the Lapists that place crosses upon their churches, upon their altars, upon their garments. Can you imagine? So we live in a world that has been paganized long before even the discovery of some of the countries we live in. So if you have a cross as a symbol identifying you as a believer, then you are not a child of the Yahweh, because the Yahweh hates the cross. It's pagan. Its origin is pagan, and always it will be pagan. Interestingly, there is a quotation I want to quote here from Adult Teachers Sabbath School Bible Guide. Was written in 2005 by the Advent Church. It was written for the months of April, May, and June. All you people out there who have the lesson that came, I think that's the second quarter. Let's see whether it's leading you to heaven or to the grave. Page 76, Teacher's Edition. I quote, they said, this is what they wrote. Christ's badge was a cross, not crown. Ellen G. White, in the Great Controversy and in the Ministry of Healing, she quoted, warning the Advent people that they should distance themselves from the cross. And she wrote that it's the Lapists who place crosses on their churches, on their garments, on their cars, on the graves, and etc. She gave a warning as a faithful messenger of the Yahweh. So what do you think? Is the cross right to have in the church or not? Comment in the comment section below. Ezekiel chapter 16 verse 44 says, as her mother, so is her daughter. Thank you for watching as always.